Hello, so today we'll be doing the extra credit for the Chapter 4 test for AB Calculus. I pulled a quiz question that deals with summation notation. The question is, use the summation formulas to rewrite the expression that is given here without the summation notation. So, you can see that. The first step, of course, is to initiate the sequence by writing first here the limit as n approaches infinity of summation of n when I equals 1 of 5i cubed minus 2I over n to the fourth. Your next logical step is going to be to separate out that fraction. So you're going to have, within this term here, you're going to have 5i cubed over n to the fourth minus 2i over n to the fourth. So you have two separate terms here with common denominator. After that, you're going to want to isolate the I terms so you can use your formulas. So you have 5 over n to the fourth times I cubed minus 2 over n to the fourth times I. So you factored out the constants and you're just left with I. So then, in the next step, you can actually use your formulas to substitute n for I and or I for n, I should say. And in this next step right here, what you have is 5 over n to the fourth times the formula for I cubed is n squared times n plus 1 squared over 4, which is just the I formula squared, minus 2 over n to the fourth times n plus 1 over 2, which is the I formula for just a singular I term with no exponent. Now you're going to want to deal with these terms in the next step and ultimately work towards the combination of the two terms once again in order to get it simplified without the summation notation. So you've abandoned the summation notation, now it's just a matter of simplifying. Combine these again and cancel where necessary, so you have an n squared term and an n to the fourth term. After simplifying these two together, you get 5 times n plus 1 squared, quantity squared, over 4n squared minus n plus 1 over n cubed. Now you need to get a common denominator on that particular term, on both of those particular terms, in order to combine those into a singular fraction. So this term you're going to multiply by n over n, which of course simplifies to 1, and this term you're going to multiply by 4 over 4, which of course again simplifies to 1. So after that, your first term here is going to be 5n times n plus 1 squared, quantity squared, over 4n cubed, minus 4 times n plus 1 over 4n cubed, which is this step right here. And then immediately following that, you just combine those two terms and simplify where possible. So your final answer is going to be n plus 1 times 5n times n plus 1 quantity minus 4 over 4n cubed, because that 4n cubed is your common denominator, and thus you have rewritten the expression without the summation notation via the substitution of those I values, the I cubed value in particular, and the I value, no exponent, for their respective formulas, which are in terms of n.